Morning, everyone. I want to call this meeting to Pulaski County Fiscal Court to order. This is where the business of the county is done, so certainly glad to see each and every one of you here. We've got some business to take care of this morning. We've been a real busy morning this morning, had a lot of things going on downstairs at our office, so we can actually help court down there. We've had a lot of people in this morning, so certainly good to see each one of you here. As our normal routine, we'll do a moment of silence, and then I've asked Mr. Wilson here to lead us in the pledge, but does anyone have any prior concerns or comments to make before the court before we get started?
Yeah, as I've been out speaking with people over the last couple of months, there's a lot of people having health issues. So just keep our community and all those ones that are having health issues in our prayers.
All right. Anyone else? Bobby?
Lieutenant Bryant's father passed away, and they're visitations today and tomorrow.
Keep that family in prayer. Anyone else?
Just keep our military in your prayers and thoughts. It's getting a little warmer over there, and I've got some folks I personally know that are there.
Okay. Yep, the Middle East right now is in a turmoil. We know all about that, so we never know what's going on and what the future holds, but remember that area. Nod. I ask everyone to bow your head for a moment of silence, and then Mr. Wilson will lead us in the pledge. Thank you. Everyone, please stand.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The first item up this morning is citizens' comments, and I think we have a couple that may want to speak. Mr. David Carr, if you're ready, we'll let you go first.
Judge Todd and members of the Fiscal Court and distinguished leaders of our county. I've written this out so I won't, you know how preachers are, they don't know when to quit. And so I've written this out, and it's of great concern to me. And it's on the preservation of the north-south watershed off of Kentucky 39 in Pulaski County, Kentucky. And also on Dutton Hill, the unmarked graves that are up there. And as you well know, putting the gas line through there. And I am told, I don't know for sure, but that the marker that's there is not where the graves are actually. On Dutton Hill. And there's a land situated north of Somerset that represents a unique intersection of Kentucky's natural and military history. And a north-flowing watershed that flows from the South Hill dictates drainage for the Highway 39 corridor. Historical and topographical analysis confirms that this terrain was a primary defensive line for a 5-hour stand on March the 30th, 1863, and it involved nearly 3,000 Civil War personnel. And this presentation aims to brief you, Judge, and Fiscal Court of the critical intersection of the environmental management and historical preservation of this watershed on Dutton Hill and the discovery of unmarked burial sites. And there is a KRS statute that protects them. And for you that may not know, my interest is over the hill, a piece of property that I bought by no purpose. I'm not a veteran. My dad served, and my son just retired from the military. But we've established a historical park. We're not in competition with our current park that's been honored to support our veterans, but this park, the more I did the work on it, I was concerned about the Battle of Somerset, or the battle called Dutton Hill. And we have that park dedicated to those American veterans and first responders that suffer from post-traumatic stress disorder. This is a very serious disease that they carry. And so my request with that in mind is that the court formally accept the watershed and the burial ground with survey for public record and authorize the county PVA and the mapping department to include a GIS integration. And the court's effort to make sure our unmarked graves are protected, which aligns the county's commitment to honor our history and our American veteran. Pulaski County is full of history, and even though the strong Civil War battle, I thought I had that off. I apologize for that. Well, it don't want to work. Like me, it don't want to work. But there were a total of, now this is, I wasn't there back in the 1800s, but there were 290 casualties on that hill. And it's a fascinating story. And I'm trying to preserve what I can of Pulaski County history because it also, this battle includes Woodstock with the some things that happened out there. But I'm concerned about the unmarked graves, and the watershed is a natural stream of water that flows into a stream of water that is eroding aggressively next to the Car Veterans Historical Memorial Park at 1657 North Highway 39, and especially during flooding and the removal of the old bridge on Kentucky 39 by the State Department. That bridge was collapsing slowly, and they removed it, but in the meantime, it has created a lot of erosion that's already interfering with the park. And I need the aid of fiscal court with rock and labor. I'd be thankful to have the rock. I've already spent many thousands of dollars just for rock. But I need rock and labor for you to consider to help preserve the banks of that stream. And the Car Veterans Historical Memorial Park is dedicated to the American veteran and the first responders who suffer from PTSD. And it's referred to as a park of reconciliation. We're not there to honor the North or the South. We're there to honor all Americans because regardless if you're for the North or the South, the fact is those were Americans that fought on that hill. And so this park is debt-free. It is paid for by private donations of multiple thousands of dollars, and it has a Christian perspective. And just to let our county know and our state that the Christian community appreciates the sacrifice of the men and women that serve in our military. And we're getting ready to add some other things, but you don't have to discuss this today, Judge. I just wanted to present it before fiscal court. I know you've got your agenda full, but I'm very concerned with the gas line, especially that's coming through. I'm glad to see it come through, but I want to make sure that they say there was, again, 290 casualties, 30 to 50 of them, they say, lots of times are buried in a mass grave. And I think they deserve our protection. So thank you for your time, and I apologize for creating a greater agenda. So, but thank you, Judge. Appreciate it. Yeah, if you have any questions.
Brother Carr, do you know who owns the property that you're referring to there on Dutton Hill?
Yes, the lady that suffered the loss of her husband, who was a medical doctor, she owns that property up there.
Okay.
And but I don't know the details in that.
Thank you.
Any other question?
Brother Carr, give us some time, and we'll do some research on the ownership of the land and the eroding of the stream there. I know exactly what you're talking about. Give us some time to study that, and we'll see what we can do, and I'll get back with you. I
appreciate it, Judge. And we're in the process of preserving that bank with, you know, the best we can, but it's very critical. Good American history, and thank you for any consideration. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Next up would be more citizens' comments if we have some.
had to lower the microphone. Good morning, everybody. I'm Brenda Russell. I am the director at God's Food Pantry. I've got a couple updates here this morning, and one of those is on the Somerset Pulaski County Crisis Response Fund that we opened after the tornadoes last May. Just wanted to give you an update that that fund is up and running and working. We don't have a lot of donors. We do have a couple individuals who are dedicated to donating monthly to that. We do have a small balance available, and we did have a meeting last night. We've awarded 2 more grants for crisis response. So again, we want to let the public know that if there's a need out there that is a direct result of some unexpected crisis, please reach out to us. We're glad to share information and see if there's perhaps a way that they can qualify for some of those funds. And we're also going to make a plea to our general public that, you know, this fund is ongoing. It is well managed. It is, we've got a committee that meets. We've got great guidelines for that. And it's a great place to donate. So if there's anybody out there that has some desire to help people in crisis, whether that's tornado, fire, accident, illness, something like that, we're there to help those individuals. So wanted to report on that. And then I wanted to do a quick report on Oak Point Center. And I'm afraid to take thunder away. Marshall, can I say it?
You can.
I can say it.
It's not too loud.
Not that it's on Facebook or anything, right?
That's right.
So as we understand it, the governor did sign House Bill 900 yesterday. House Bill 900 is being extraordinarily kind to Pulaski County. I know that we are getting a community center and storm shelter in the Nancy area. I know that Connect Community Village, which is going to be a direct caregiver for our veterans, also received some funding to help continue their mission of working with homeless veterans. I believe, was there a bridge somewhere in the eastern part of the county that got some funding? A road? Okay, so it's roads. And I didn't pay as much attention to that as I did to the fact that Oak Point Center will be awarded $550,000 to get a new roof on the Oak Point Center building, the old Palm Beach building. And so really wanted to say thank you to all of you for allowing those funds, for helping to ease our way into getting those funds and to be able to administer those funds for us, to Shane Baker, who did that application for us and really went to bat in making that happen. And then to our Kentucky state leaders who actually voted that House Bill 900 in and were able to get it through and signed to the finish line. So great things happening. You know, those are all funds that are invested into Pulaski County, into the future of Kentucky, where we're taking people, we're taking homeless veterans off the streets, we're giving them an education and feeding, we're taking our people in poverty here, moving them forward through education, and that's a true investment when you're talking workforce development, addiction recovery, those types of things in our futures and all of our futures. So thank you all for your part that you play in that. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Brenda. Any other citizens comment? John, you're up next.
Judge and Fiscal Court, we've had to put this in citizens' comments because as good of a secretary as I am, sometimes things fall through the cracks, and this was one of them for me. But it is our it is this month's one of this month's honorees for our America 250 celebration. The American farmer is the very definition of the spirit of America and the very essence of our America 250, Lake Cumberland 250 celebration. Colson Pierce was selected as the 2025 Kentucky FFA State Star Farmer. Colson is the son of Chris and Rebecca Pierce of Nancy. Colson is a graduate of Southwestern High School, where he served as an officer for Southwestern FFA and the Lake Cumberland FFA Regional President. Colson's farming operation is in partnership with his brother, Riley Pierce. At first, Colson started his operation with a Farm Service Agency youth loan of $5,000 to purchase 60 sheep with his brother to begin his sheep operation. During this time, he was custom harvesting for his father using a combine and had bought with his brother. The custom harvesting rate Colson charged allowed him to also exchange labor for use of a tractor and grain cart. With this exchange, Colson began starting his own soybean and rye enterprises to expand his farming operation. From this expansion, Colson's operation continued to increase in size each year he was in high school and led to further additions of livestock and crops, including purchasing 29 Angus cows and 9 calves during his junior year. The money generated from these enterprises has allowed Colson to purchase newer, more advanced equipment and has led to even greater diversification in his operation. At the conclusion of Colson's senior year, Colson's operation totaled 327 head of sheep, 29 cattle, 146 acres of canola, 146 acres of corn, 387 acres of soybeans, and 1,389 acres custom harvested. Upon winning the 2025 Kentucky FFA State Star Farmer Award last June, Colson and his brother Riley, by the way, the winner of the same award in 2024, cemented themselves in Kentucky FFA and Kentucky agricultural history books as the only, I repeat, only winners of this prestigious award from Pulaski County. They are also only the second set of brothers to ever win this award in consecutive terms. So, ladies and gentlemen, please give a round of applause for our America 250 recipient this month, Mr. Colson Pierce. Come on up, Colson.
Well, I mean, I just want to say thank you to all of you for, recognizing me. It means a lot when, the people in your community see, what you do, I know a lot of you, and, you've seen me, do my farm work, and so it just means a lot to have everyone, give me a moment and recognition, so thank you.
Up we go, boss.
Do we have any other citizens' comments? Seeing none, we will move on with our business at hand. First item of business will be approve the minutes from the last meeting. I think you have a copy in front of you. Do we have any changes or comments, additions to that?
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Wilson, second by Mr. Wilden to accept the minutes. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Moving on to new business. I want to hire today a couple of seasonal workers for the road department. One would be a total patch guy, and the other would be a floater flex to help with total patch or any other duties we need. It'd only be a seasonal to last from 1st of April, a little bit later than 1st of April right now, but until fall, late fall in December. The name would be Matthew Parton and Isaiah Sweet as seasonal workers for this summer. I would need a motion to hire these guys.
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Turpin. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Renshaw. Any discussion on these two hires? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Also, I'd like to hire a full-time equipment operator. We've had one to quit, turn in resignation. This would be actually he'll be assigned to the bucket truck that we purchased some time ago to start a tree crew because we have lots of trees, branches falling out on lines and roadways. His name is Joseph Roysden. I've interviewed him. He's worked in a bucket truck for many years, so he's well prepared to take the job. and I would ask for the court to hire Joseph Roysden.
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Renshaw. Do I have a second on this job?
Second.
Second by Mr. Wheeldon. Any discussion?
What was his last name?
Roysden, Roysdon. All in favor, say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Also, I'd like to do two little promotions on pay to move two people from labor to equipment operators. They're doing the job now. One is Jimmy Black, and the other is Devin Jasper. I would ask the court to approve those.
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Wilson, second by somebody on this side. Mr. Wheeldon, any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Oh, I've got road addition removal. Did the magistrates look at this office?
Yeah, they said it.
Okay. I need permission to advertise for a public hearing on the office park, I think is the name of the road.
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Renshaw and a second by Mr. Strunk. Any discussion on this road? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. The next thing on the agenda is a memorandum of agreement for Bolthouse Ridge flap grant. We don't have that agreement before us yet. It's still in the works, but Renshaw, do you want
Yeah,
to
I
speak
just,
on that a little bit, small amount?
yeah, I just got. Yeah. It's a $1.4 million project. We just finished up all the requirements for paperwork for the state, and state contacted me yesterday saying they have officially requested the money. The state is administering the project, but they have requested the money from the federal government. And this is for a forestry grant for Bolthouse Ridge, Squidano, and Acornano. So as soon as they get word that we got the money, we're going to go ahead and start on it. But I think we're going to start doing some surveying and stuff like that ahead of time. So to see what needs to be done, prep work type stuff.
Okay. I think part of the House Bill 502 that was just, or 900 that was just announced had $285,000 in it to addition to this 1.1 grant. So we're up to about 1.4 on that one. So just a matter of time till the state says go with it and we're ready to move.
And if it's good with the court, I want to announce another project that we just received confirmation on, another flap grant, forestry grant project. We applied for a 10-mile stretch of forestry roads, starting with Old Whitney, going all the way through to Ben Baker and Poplarville Road. A lot of those roads are rock now, and I put in for a rehabilitation grant since that was the only road open right after the tornado for anybody in the Poplarville Road area to get out. We just received this like half an hour ago. And I'm so excited to say that we actually got approved for this project. And it'll take us some time to get all the paperwork and stuff to the federal government and the federal government to pay us. So that's another 10 miles of blacktop for the county. So in all, we received 22 miles of rehabilitation funds for the roads leading to the Daniel Boone Forest. So that's great news.
That was late breaking news this morning. We just got that email about 30 minutes ago that we got another 1.1 million. So appreciate everybody working together on court to make these things happen. We got some good things moving forward. Next up would be library board appointments. We've had a resignation of Mr. Jerry Clonch from the library board, and I would like to appoint, hold on just a second here, Lindsay Roberts to take his place. It'd be a 2-year term to fill in the remaining time that he had to serve, which is 2 years. I've got 2 of those. Do I need to make those separate? Okay. I would need a motion to approve Lindsey Roberts as a new addition to the library board.
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Wilson.
Second.
Second by Mr. Turpin. All in favor, say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. And also, we have one that is expiring. Miss Lori Phelps is expiring, but she is able to do another 4-year term if it's the pleasure of the court. So I'd like to reappoint her to the library board, Miss Lori Phelps, if I can have a motion on that.
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Ranshaw,
Second.
second by Mr. Turpin. Any discussion on this appointment? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Next up would be something that Martin will need to handle. It's a telecommunications legal team.
Yeah. So, I think back in end of last year, October, there was a fellow showed up. You all passed a resolution with regard to Windstream, Kinetic, and they've been bought out by something called the Unity Group. So there's got to be a new franchise agreement executed. Telecommunications law is a very complicated area of the law, and most of my colleagues around the state, most of the other counties have retained outside counsel to negotiate these franchise agreements, and it's pretty much been the same lady who's an expert in this. Her name is Linda Ain, A-I-N. She's an attorney in Lexington. And the way it's worked, I've talked with her and talked to some of my colleagues who've used her. And I think Burnside and Ferguson cities also have used her on their telecommunications issues, but she charges $450 an hour. Most of them seem to run around $3,500 to $4,000 all in for her services. We can probably recoup most, if not all, of that money by charging by the court charging an application fee to the party, which would be Unity or whoever seeking the franchise. So, but you all need to authorize Judge Todd to sign an engagement letter so we can hire her and get her started on this.
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Ranshaw,
Second.
second by Mr. Strunk to hire this law firm to represent us in the telecommunications world. Any comments or questions?
I do. I know as magistrates and the judge, we get a lot of questions about all these tree limbs hanging on these wires. Well, legally, for liability purposes, we cannot remove, trees from power lines or cable lines if they break, we're liable for it. I wanted to have a representative come to court from them to explain why they won't let us take these trees off these cable lines. Some of these lines has been on there for 3 and 4 years. So what I was explained the other Tuesday, I talked with one of the gentlemen at the chamber meeting, and he says they don't even take them off the lines because they're afraid that if the line is working, if they bust one of these fiber cables, it would take a long time first to get it back up and people get their internet service back up. But it's so difficult for them to blend those wires back together. So they feel like it's better off to leave the tree on the cable. So if it breaks, they'll fix it, but if not, they're gonna leave the tree on the cables. So it's a big problem out in my district, especially after the tornado and all that. And I just want everybody to know the situation on that. I talked to them about it, and that's how they feel. So I'll leave it up to the citizens on how they feel about it. But in my opinion, they should be getting these trees off these cable lines because they're hanging over roads and stuff like that. But us as the road department, they would love to take those trees off them too, but we're not allowed. I mean, they say we would be liable. I asked them for a exemption from liability, and he couldn't say yes or no. That's where we're at on that. I know there's a big issue countywide, it's just not in my district, but with the tornado and everything, and there's a lot of lines just laying on the ground that they don't even pick up. So, just want to update that.
Thanks, Mark. We will move on to department reports.
I guess we need to
have a
vote
motion.
on that, right?
You made the motion.
Yeah, I think I made the original
Okay.
motion.
You have minutes.
Yeah, Rancho made the motion and Strunk seconded.
All right. All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Renshaw, you talked so long, we forgot what the motion was. We got to have a little fun. Moving on to department reports, solid waste. Mr. Danny?
Just have a couple of things. First, we have an ordinance 930 cleanup for 114 Carroll Street. We just need to remove some garbage and mow the lot.
Nope. Second.
Who made the motion? All right. Mr. Strunk made the motion, Mr. Renshaw second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes.
And the second thing I have is our Household Hazardous Waste Day is coming up on April 25th. It's an event we host once a year for people to get rid of paints, pesticides, household chemicals, things of that nature that just can't get rid of. Normally, again, it's one time a year, so we want to get the word out to people because this event costs the solid waste office anywhere from $15,000 to $20,000 to host each year. So we want to make sure people have the opportunity to do it, but as well not forget or miss it. So I'll be back at the next court meeting to promote it one more time, but please let your...
What was the date?
April 25th. It's a Saturday. It'll be from 7:30 to 2 at the Solid Waste Office Recycling Center. We contract a company out of Ohio to set up, and they'll take everything out of your vehicle. You don't even have to get out. If you have it in the bed of a pickup truck, they'll remove everything out, and you don't even have to get out. It's pretty quick and easy. Usually we don't have it lined up for more than 5 minutes at a time.
That's not tires, though, that's just hazardous waste.
No, we will not have a waste tire event this year. Laurel County is hosting a waste tire event, so people can utilize that. As long as you're a Kentucky resident, you can do that. That's coming up next month, May, I think, 14th, 15th, and 16th. And then Rockcastle County will also have one the 18th, 19th, and 20th of June. So not too far to drive with some tires if you have some, but yeah, we won't accept tires on April 25th. Thanks.
Thank you. Next up will be your road department. Wayne, you prepared for that?
Morning.
Morning.
I'd like to ask for 1,500 ton of blacktop for patching.
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Renshaw, second by Mr. Wilden. Any discussion on this? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes.
And then the road list, I'd like to know.
Had a chance to look at the road list. Need a motion to approve. Motion by Mr. Wilden,
Second.
second by Mr. Renshaw. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Treasurer, Ms. Carissa?
I feel like I have almost as much on the agenda as you guys do. First of all, I'm looking for approval of the April bill list.
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Renshaw on the April bill list. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Turpin. Any discussion on the bill list? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes.
Okay, secondly, I have budget transfers for the fiscal year of 2026. You all have a copy of all of that in front of you all?
Your motion for budget transfers?
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Renshaw. Do I have a second? Second on the budget transfers?
Second.
Second by Mr. Turpin. Do we have any discussion on the budget transfers?
Can you elaborate on the budget transfers of why we have to do this every so often?
Okay, well, with the county requirements for DLG, we have the options to do budget transfers or budget amendments. Budget amendments are the receipts that come into the county throughout the fiscal year if they were not anticipated when we prepared the budget. Budget transfers are if we happen to need to move from one expense account to another, if we've overspent or, underspent in another line item, we can move it to something other where maybe there was an unanticipated expense that arose throughout the fiscal year.
So we're getting ready to go into our new budget year. So we set a budget at the beginning of the year, and a budget is like a living, breathing document. It changes throughout the year, correct? And then we just have to make these changes, and we have to put them in the form of a transfer or amendment, right?
Absolutely.
I just wanted people to understand what exactly we're doing.
No matter how prepared you think you may be, it's just like individual households. You have unanticipated emergency expenses or unanticipated expenses that occur throughout the year. So we have to, like you said, it's living, breathing document. You have to kind of adjust.
Yeah.
And thank you for explaining that for.
No worries.
Chris, those are all, and those transfers ultimately are, the auditors look at those and give them the thumbs up, right?
Correct.
You don't just do them
No.
of your own volition. Yeah.
With the budget amendment, which we will have one of those coming up pretty soon as well, those actually had to be sent to the state after the first reading, be approved by the state finance officer, and then we come back and we do the second reading. The state is very involved in our budget and our finances. Which also brings me to did we get approval and vote? Sorry.
Have a motion on the floor to approve the budget transfers. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Now you can go ahead.
Okay. There is a difference. I have budget transfers and fund transfers, so that we're all clear on that one. The fund transfers is transferring between bank accounts, basically. I'm asking for the court's approval to transfer from the general fund to the road fund an amount of $146,887.90 for a loan payment that was made.
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Wheeldon, second by Mr. Renshaw. Fund transfer. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes.
And as most of fiscal court has been made aware, and some of the general public, we have had our 24 audit completed, and the state is currently involved in doing our 25 audit. Through the process of both of those audits, we've been made aware that there are some issues with our current accounting software. So I'm asking for the court's approval to purchase Fiscal soft for the upcoming year of 2027 and going forward, to help alleviate some of those issues that we're having so that our audits are better and more accurate. The cost on that will be $40,000. It will be a savings from our current software that we currently spend $60,000 for it annually. So we're going to save about $20,000 by making the change, as well as have better software, better accountability.
I need a motion to purchase some new software called Fiscal soft.
My motion.
Motion by Mr. Renshaw. I need a second. We have a second.
Second.
Second by Mr. Wheeldon. Now we'll have discussion. If we need discussion on this issue.
Something that we have to put out for bid, or what is the deal with this?
If I'm not mistaken, Martin, because it's a specialized software,
Right.
it does not have to be put out to bid.
And while we're on discussion, this will also integrate all three of our accounting process and HR process, correct?
Correct, as well as our occupational tax. Currently, our occupational tax administrator's office is using Fiscal Soft, and it did not integrate with our current software.
So this will combine everything into one software, so we don't have to work with multiple softwares.
Correct.
So we won't need to purchase additional software that we were paying for the other departments, correct?
Correct.
So it'd be
Well,
even
no,
more
the-
savings.
That module will still probably be an incurred cost. That was not included in this proposal.
Yeah, it wasn't much more. I think what I read was $7,000 more to integrate everything, I think. I have to go back and look, but it wasn't that much more money than what we were paying now. But the idea of everything being integrated, and as I was reading it, it would also help us maintain our security.
Correct, this is
So, because they would
cloud-based.
monitor that for us. So that's a good thing as far as our keeping our money safe.
Yes.
All in favor of this motion to purchase new software, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. I think that is all the business we have to come before the court. I do want to make a little bit of a statement here on the House Legislature, House and Senate we've been working with on some of these bills. I'm going to read some stuff off here. Ms. Brenda brought it up, so some of it has been disclosed already, but I want to make a little more statement on it. First of all, I want to thank the legislature. The governor just signed the bills last night, so their veto is over with. But we want to thank the legislators, especially Ken Upchurch, for transportation. He's our neighbor here in Wayne County and represents Southern Pulaski County, and this is his last term. He is done after this session, but we want to do a special thank you to him for really taking care of Pulaski County in this new budget cycle. There were three bills we've been following, and fiscal court's been following closely, and they were all signed by the governor last night. Road funding for this county is covered under two separate bills. House Joint Resolution 76 includes all the roads we requested under the Local Assistance Road Program, which is a LARP funding, and you have a copy of that in front of you. We got $366,000 out of that. And House Bill 502, that's the biennial highway construction plan, which includes millions in road funding for Pulaski County. I was looking at some of it for 26, 27, and we're probably looking at about $60 million with Hal Rogers' infusion of his money from the federal government for 26, 27 budget on the northern bypass. So we're really blessed with that. And also we've got $52 million for 27 and $52 million for 28. So we're getting up there in dollars for the northern bypass, and I want to encourage anyone that has contact with state transportation to encourage them to do some bid letting on that project. I've talked to JJ down at the state, and they keep putting me off, and I'm not real happy about it because the money's available, but they want to design and engineer and design again. So let's encourage them to do a bid letting on the project later this year. I've talked to him last week about it, but they're hesitating. So with Hal Rogers' help, he wants to move forward with some dirt work on it from the 27 side to the 39 area, and we want to move that as quick as possible. And last but certainly not least is one-time funding appropriations in House Bill 900, which Ms. Brenda brought up. It's one-time funding appropriates money from the Budget Reserve Trust Fund and has provided us with approximately $3.8 million that will go towards 4 projects in Pulaski County, including full funding for a much-needed Nancy Community Center, which I'm really proud of. If we can finally get that funding, we've applied for it for a couple of years, but it will include a community center and a possibly tornado shelter for the people in western part of the county. It'll be probably where the old high school is at, so that will be making good use of that area. The legislature really went to bat for us in the 26th regular session. Our working relationships we've built with the Senate and the House have provided this county with record funding for infrastructure and community projects, and we're only going to build on those connections for years to come. So we want to say a good, big thank you for all our state reps, which were represented in the county by 5 of them, and our state senator, Rick Gertler, for all the help they've done for us. So we appreciate them. Any comments or questions, comments from the court?
I know when I went up to Frankfurt early in the year, we really talked about a lot of the projects for the county, and I was glad to see the money I received for the Full House Ridge project was an appropriations through Senator Gertler's office. So I know every one of our congressmen or our legislators had a part in all the money that we received, and we received a lot of money. I don't think we've ever received this much money that we did this year. We'll have to go back and research, but you were talking hundreds of millions of dollars that we received. So it's great work from all of us. Some hard work. It takes getting to know these guys, talking to them all the time about these projects, letting them know what we want to do for this county, and I think we've accomplished it this year. Thank you to our state senators and legislators.
Any other comments? If not, I would ask for a motion to go in executive session.
Motion. You said that was regarding personnel?
Yes, sir.
61.810 1F of the KRS authorizes that.
I have a motion by Mr. Wilson. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Strunk to go in executive session. All in favor say aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. We'll be in executive session. You're welcome to stay. We'll just be back for a few minutes, and then we'll continue the business of hand. of executive session.
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Wilson.
Second.
Second by Mr. Renshaw to come out of executive session. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? We are now in regular session. No action taken in the executive session behind closed doors. Need a motion to adjourn?
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Wilson and a second by Mr. Renshaw. All in favor, say aye. We're standing adjourned.